We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next hour. India remembers statesman Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his birth anniversary, occasion being celebrated as National Unity Day across the country. UN Security Council debates West Asia situation. India calls for an early and peaceful resolution of the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy. With few days left for US presidential election, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are holding tight competing rallies as the pair fights for undecided voters. Spain battles deadliest flood in decades as death toll rises to 95. Government declares 3 days of mourning. India and the people across the world celebrate Festival of Lights, Diwali. Northern city Ayodhya's festive celebration sets 2 new Guinness World Records. First up, National Unity Day, also known as Rashtriya Ekta Divas, is celebrated annually in India on October 31st. The day commemorates the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a pivotal figure in the country's struggle for independence and the first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of India. This day serves to promote national integration, unity and harmony among citizens, reflecting Patel's vision of a united India. The idea of National Unity Day was first proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during a speech in 2014. The day was officially declared in 2014 to honor Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's contributions to the integration of over 500 princely states into the Indian Union after independence in 1947. This year marks the 148th birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. His efforts in promoting national unity and his role in shaping modern India are remembered through various programs and initiatives held on this day. Well, President of India Draupadi Murmu paid floral tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on the occasion of his birth anniversary in the national capital. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar also paid tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in the national capital. While Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid floral tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at the Statue of Unity on the occasion of his birth anniversary celebrated as National Unity Day. Prime Minister also administered the Unity Day pledge. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paying floral tributes at the Statue of Unity today morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also witnessed Unity Day Parade, which comprised of 16 marching contingents from 9 states and 1 UT police, 4 central armed police forces, NCC and a marching band. Special attractions include Hell March contingent of NSG, Daredevil show by BSF and CRPF women and men bikers. Well, following the Unity Day parade, Prime Minister Modi addressed the nation. He addressed the contributions of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in the unification of India. He also highlighted the significance of India's unity and how it is necessary to celebrate it.
जब भारत को आजादी मिली थी, तो दुनिया में कुछ लोग थे जो भारत के बिखरने का आकलन कर रहे थे। और अभी हमने सरदार साहब की वाणी में उसका विस्तार से बयान सुना। उन लोगों को जरा भी उम्मीद नहीं थी कि सैकड़ों रियासतों को एकजुट करके फिर से एक भारत का निर्माण हो पाएगा। लेकिन सरदार साहब ने ये करके दिखाया। ये इसलिए संभव हुआ क्योंकि सरदार साहब व्यवहार में यथार्थवादी, संकल्प में सत्यवादी, कार्य में मानवतावादी और ध्येय में राष्ट्रवादी थे। पहले की सरकारों की नीतियों में और नीयत में भेदभाव का भाव भी देश की एकता को कमजोर करता रहा है। बीते 10 वर्षों में देश में सुशासन के नए मॉडल ने भेदभाव की हर गुंजाइश समाप्त की है। हमने सबका साथ, सबके विकास का रास्ता चुना है। एक सच्चे भारतीय होने के नाते हम सभी का कर्तव्य है कि हम देश की एकता के हर प्रयास को सेलिब्रेट करें, उत्सव उमंग से भर दे। ऊर्जा, आत्मविश्वास, हर पल नए संकल्प, नई उम्मीद, नए उमंग, यही तो सेलिब्रेशन है। जब हम भारत की भाषाओं पर बल देते हैं, उससे भी एकता की एक मजबूत कड़ी हमें जोड़ती है।
And for more, we have a correspondent, Meghna Dev, joining us from Kevadia, Gujarat. Well, Meghna, a big day today, and especially after Prime Minister's speech. Tell us about the electrifying atmosphere there and the excitement on this pious occasion. And to top it all, today being Diwali, get us the feel from the ground, Kevadia.
Yes, absolutely. I will try to keep you with the visuals, Lipakshi, because what we see is that people, after the celebrations, their performances have got over. People are coming here celebrating the kind of unity parade, the kind of showcase of culture, the kind of showcase of dance, music, as well as the strength that India has, the strength and unity that India has is something that was showcased at the unity parade. And not only this time around, it's been a ritual since we are celebrating Unity Day. It's been a ritual for this parade to happen, as well as artists, as well as not only that, forces also perform on patriotic tunes, and also traditional dance and music is something that takes center stage during the celebrations. And now what we can see is right behind me, you can see NSG commandos who have showcased what is the strength that they have. They have also showcased that in the parade. We see paramilitary forces, we see Central Reserve Police Force, we see the Central Industrial Reserve Police. So what we definitely see is that a lot of effort has gone into making this parade a success every year, year after year. And when it happens, when we have the Statue of Unity, the world's tallest statue in the backdrop, it makes even more meaning to have this parade at Ekta Nagar in Kevadia. And nothing beyond Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as he said, that this is something that depicts the unity of the country, and this is something that brings the country together, and this is an example. This statue is an example of what unity the country has. We have been seeing, in a sense, not only this unity parade is something that Kevadia has witnessed the past few years, the Unity Day celebrations, but time and again Kevadia has become center stage, or we can say an important destination for international events, for seminars, exhibitions and much more. Not only this, a number of tourists come here. Time and again we see a number of developmental projects coming up in the area, the Cactus Garden, be it the Arogya one, be it be it a jungle safari. A lot is constantly going on in this place, and this place is very vibrant. So that is definitely, we have been speaking to the tourists as well, and they have a lot to say, because most of the tourists have visited this place 3 to 4 times. The reason that every time they come, they see something new here. So this is an example of how the world's tallest statue has not only created, is not only grabbing eyeballs, but is also providing livelihood to the tribal area of Kevadia.
Well, Meghna, the visuals definitely show us a lot of vibrance. Prime Minister also spoke about the unity of the country. How have the local communities, if we speak about them around the Statue of Unity, benefited from these celebrations, and how has the state benefited from tourism, as you were also speaking about it?
Yes, Lipakshi, that's a very important aspect when we always come to Kevadia. This is going to be my 22nd or 23rd time coming to Kevadia, and I have always witnessed something new at this place. What we see initially is that this place, a number of attractions started coming up around the, world's tallest statue, the Statue of Unity. After that, we saw the jungle safari come, we saw the Arogya one, we have been seeing Miyawaki Garden, which is a Japanese-style garden. After that, we saw the Cactus Garden, then there's the Ekta Cruise, the Ekta Mall, the Children's Nutrition Park. What not has come up around this place? The tent city for accommodation. But after that, after a number of attractions came here, we have been seeing a number of private players interested in investing in Ekta Nagar, in Kevadia, as well as the whole district of Narmada has come up on the map in Gujarat, wherein a lot of investment is being pushed in. We have been seeing sustainability measures also taking place in this area, where we are seeing EVs running, we are seeing Pink Auto, which is giving livelihood to tribal women here. We are seeing the Ekta Cafe, wherein the tribal women cook traditional food for the tourists. We have been seeing the Ekta Mall, which actually projects the culture and tradition, the handloom and handicraft from across India. So there's a lot in store here, and very importantly, the private players coming in, that clearly shows how much employment, how much potential this area has in itself. The reason a number of private players are investing heavily in this entire district.
Well, thank you so much, Meghna, for all those details from there. And moving on, the disengagement exercise between India and China in Desmang and Demchok has been completed. According to defense sources, the Indian armed forces are conducting verification. Sources also added that coordinated patrolling will start soon by both the sides. Ground commanders will continue to hold talks. The two sides will exchange sweets for Diwali on Thursday. The Indian and Chinese troops were verifying the vacation of positions and removal of infrastructure. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri on the 21st of October announced that New Delhi and Beijing reached an agreement to disengage in the remaining friction points at LAC near eastern Ladakh. And for more, we have Vishal Baristo joining us on this. Well, Vishal, how significant is this disengagement as it follows an agreement between the two countries concerning patrolling and troop withdrawal along the LAC in eastern Ladakh after a nearly 4-year standoff?
Well, absolutely. First of all, Lepakshi, a very good morning and a very happy Diwali to you. And that is why the timing is very important, because today India is celebrating the festival of lights, and today only after after 4 years of friction and animosity, India and China would be exchanging sweets at the 2 points, Depsang and Demchok. Now, this is quite historical. And quoting what the Chinese ambassador wrote on his X account, this is a very positive beginning. So today is a very, very special day, both at the military and at the diplomatic levels. The talks have been on, and finally the ice has been broken. This involves 3 steps. First is disengagement, which we already informed our viewers, then de-escalation, and finally it is de-induction. So it is a process which needs some time. The physical verification, along with the help of the verification from the air, that means with the help of UAVs, is required, because it's a very, very difficult terrain, so that the both sides are assured on record that disengagement and de-escalation has taken place. And now this will be going back to pre-April 2020 position. And now the talks, as you informed our viewers that the talks are already on. Talks would be on for other friction points as well. But as far as engagement is concerned, this is only for the 2 points in the eastern Ladakh region. We know that there are friction points for India and China in Arunachal as well. For that also, the talks are on.
Right, Vishal. Thank you so much for all those details. And time now for a short break. Stay tuned for more.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on. As India celebrates the Festival of Lights, Diwali, President of India, Draupadi Murmu, greeted the nation on this auspicious occasion. She extended her warm wishes to all Indians at home and abroad. Diwali, recognized as a festival of happiness, symbolizes the victory of knowledge over ignorance and good over evil, celebrated with great zeal. She emphasizes the opportunity to illuminate our conscience, adopt love and compassion, and promote social harmony while taking pride in India's heritage. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his Diwali greetings, sharing on X. He wrote, and I quote, "Many happy wishes to the countrymen on Diwali, on this divine festival of lights. I wish everyone a healthy, happy and prosperous life. May everyone prosper with the blessings of Ma Lakshmi and Lord Shri Ganesha," unquote. Well, on the eve of Diwali, the 8th edition of Deepotsav in Ayodhya witnessed the setting of 2 Guinness World Records. These included the highest number of participants performing a simultaneous diya rotation and the largest display of oil lamps. Well, the festive fever goes high in India as the country celebrates Diwali with pomp and show. People decorated their homes with dazzling lights and colorful rangoli. DD India's correspondent Ayushi Ahuja brings you this more.
Diwali, the festival of lights, celebrated by millions worldwide. In Sanskrit, Diwali or Deepavali means row of lights, symbolizing the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and the promise of new beginnings. Every diya, every light tells a story of hope, resilience, and love. Traditionally, Diwali celebrates the return of Lord Ram to Ayodhya after his 14 years exile, as well as defeating the demon king Ravan, bringing peace and harmony to his kingdom.
The spirit of Diwali is in the air. Shoppers are bustling in bazaars, children are looking forward to fireworks, and the warm glow celebration is shared with friends and families.
Diwali is all about preparations, deep cleaning, fresh decor, and bringing in touches of gold and silver for good fortune. And what's Diwali without food? From jalebi to kaju katli to gulab jamun, every bite holds a memory waiting to be made. Also, Diwali without lights? That's like sweet without sugar. Twinkling fairy lights are everywhere. Indoors, outdoors, wrapped around stairs, adorning plants, adding sparkle to every corner. No Diwali is complete without rangoli. Families design pattern on floors using colored sand, rice flour or powdered limestone for a warm welcome to guests and a way to invite the goddess Lakshmi. Colors make Diwali come alive. Using marigold flowers, rose petals and green leaves is a way of saying welcome to good vibes. Plus, these decorations are as eco-friendly as they are beautiful.
We do sculpture candles, which is kind of really different. Let's use soy wax, let's use natural wax. There are so many, different types of wax, and also coconut wax. So why go for paraffin? Because it releases a lot of soot. So to reduce pollution, this is our attempt.
People are also embracing sustainable decor. Think natural lanterns, torans that make your home shine while respecting the planet.
Diwali is the most beautiful festival in our country, and I always like to decorate my house. There are many lights, temple lights, all things are available, and I always enjoy it.
Diwali is always a very special occasion for me and my family. It holds a great place in my heart. We always decorate the house with colorful diyas, flowers. There's rangoli everywhere. We are always together with the family, so we get to spend a good time.
From lighting sparklers to setting off fireworks, Diwali is an experience for all the senses. Diwali is also a time for prayers, and people also leave offerings to Goddess Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of wealth, for good luck and prosperity. The glow of diyas, earthen oil lamps, and the crackle of fireworks create a magical backdrop for this celebration of lights.
Whether we are lighting diyas or praying for abundance, Diwali reminds us that even in the darkest of time, light is to be found. Here's wishing you all a very happy and joyful Diwali. May the light within you shine bright. With camera person Aniket Dubey, I am Ayushi Ahuja, reporting for DD India.
And for more, we have Dipendu Muntal joining us on this. Well, Dipendu, a very happy Deepavali to you. Get us the overall feel of the electrifying atmosphere around the country right now.
Well, Lipakshi, good morning, and wishing all our viewers and to you and to all our team at DD India very happy Diwali to begin with. But of course, this is the most festive season in India, cutting across the entire length and breadth of the country. The country is in the festive fervor at the moment. Since morning we have been witnessing, in fact over the last 1.5 weeks, we have been witnessing massive crowds in the market where people are going out to buy their decorations for the festivities that entails, and in fact that began day before yesterday with Dhanteras and will conclude with Bhai Dooj on Sunday. So of course, the festive fervor have gripped the entire nation. People are celebrating with much enthusiasm across the country. Today night we'll also see, the houses being lit up with earthen pots, earthen diyas in fact, and praying to Goddess Lakshmi. This is the significance of Diwali here in India, giving a fact that, we pray to Lord Ganesha and Lakshmi for prosperity and for health and wealth during Diwali. So of course, the entire nation will be submersed in devotion and in celebration this evening, and in fact we can see some glimpse of it in the market where I am currently at the moment as well, Lipakshi.
All right, Dipendu, also if we talk about the eco-friendly part, what efforts do you see are being taken to initiate eco-friendly Diwali this year, such as the use of sustainable decorations and fireworks?
Well, Lipakshi, see, this has been the effort of the government over the last couple of years, given the fact that particularly during this point in time in the national capital region and in other parts of the country as well, we see the pollutions peaking. So of course, given that aspect, the Supreme Court has already banned all kinds of fireworks that causes pollution, and only green fireworks are allowed in the country. So of course, that is to be seen how much it is being implemented on the ground. But of course, this is the initiative that is being taken, that has been taken by the Supreme Court, and the governments are trying to implement it not just in Delhi but also across the country. But also, not just with firecrackers, but also with terms of, as you mentioned about the decorations, we do see that a lot of dependency on and self-reliance on Indian-made products have increased over the last couple of years. We can see people shifting from these plastic candles to earthen diyas here, and if you can see behind me, these are some of the these shops that have started to selling earthen diyas, which were not seen some years back. So of course, the people that are coming here are also looking for these sustainable and eco-friendly products to lighten up their Diwali, and not just this, but also to help the potter community across the country at this point in time, because the government's push have also been towards the self-reliance and also to help the marginalized section of the society during this point in time. So of course, we can see a lot of people moving towards eco-friendly and sustainable Diwali.
Right, of course. Debindu will request our viewers to celebrate eco-friendly Diwali. Thanks so much for all those details. And Diwali is being celebrated around the world, uniting communities in joy and tradition. Here's a look at how Diwali lights up across the globe. Nancy Baloda brings us more.
Diwali's spirit has travelled worldwide with celebrations that embrace local culture. Thousands gathered in London's Trafalgar Square to celebrate Diwali, with organisers estimating around 10,000 participants, including members of the UK's Asian community, tourists and local residents. In Nepal, known as Tihar, Diwali celebrates the bond between humans and animals with rituals dedicated to dogs, cows and other animals. In Sri Lanka, Diwali mirrors Indian celebrations with families lighting lamps, setting off fireworks and sharing sweets in honor of Lord Ram's victory. In Malaysia, Hari Diwali is a public holiday that begins with an oil bath followed by temple prayers and gatherings to enjoy traditional foods. Singapore's Diwali transforms Serangoon Road with festive lights. Indian bazaars and food stalls create a vibrant memory for locals and tourists alike. In the United States, Times Square hosts an annual Diwali event featuring performances, food stalls, fireworks, while schools and workplaces increasingly recognize the festival. In South Africa, Diwali's spirit shines with oil lamps, fireworks and shared meals. From Nepal to New York, Diwali's themes of light, unity and celebration have taken root globally, reflecting a tradition that brings communities together in every corner of the world. Nancy Baloda's report for DD India.
Well, it's a bonanza for the economy as markets get a boost amid Diwali festivities. Traders are also more optimistic about making new investments. This report by DD India correspondent Anu Kaushik tells you about Diwali's role in India's growth story.
India is celebrating Diwali, the festival of lights. The gala is marked by gatherings, shopping, feasts and exchange of gifts. Beyond the merrymaking, Diwali plays a major role in boosting the economy. The Confederation of All India Traders estimated a rupees 4.25 lakh crore or over $50 billion turnover this Diwali season. That's nearly a 10% increase when compared to last year. Several factors like rise in consumer spending have been the driving force behind the surge. From decorative items to sweets, markets are flooded with new and curated goods as per consumer needs.
I bought some Rangoli colors from these street vendors which are not actually easily available on the shops in the market.
With a focus on Vocal for Local initiative, the festival is a boon for artisans as people buy handmade earthen lamps and idols.
We make these idols The soil we use is considered pure. We make idols of Lord Ganesh and Goddess Lakshmi.
According to a survey by community platform Local Circles, 40% of urban households spent most on home decor, 38% focused on beauty and fashion, while 22% chose gadgets. Respondents also delved into their shopping avenues. 70% of the households chose malls and local markets, while 13% went for e-commerce sites. However, quick commerce platforms like Zepto and Blinkit that promise a 10-minute delivery recorded a surge in gift orders. The festival also provides a major fillip to real estate. Boosted by offers from developers, people flock to buy properties on this auspicious occasion. Sectors like hospitality and automobile also see a rise in demand. Then there's the generation of seasonal jobs. As for the stock markets, the festivities herald a new beginning for investors who rejoice at the special Diwali Muhurat trading session.
Diwali brings together friends and families. The celebrations also provide an opportunity for businesses, especially the local ones, to thrive. As markets witness high footfall, various sectors like tourism and retail benefit from the festive spirit, making Diwali one of the biggest occasions for the Indian economy. With camera person Vicky Rajput, this is Anu Kaushik reporting for DD India.
And now let's take a look at other stories making news today. Indian Army personnel celebrated Diwali away from their homes at an altitude of 8,000 feet in the hilly regions of the Pir Panjal range on Wednesday. Goa state capital of Panaji witnessed people burn the effigy of demon Narakasur as part of Grand Diwali celebration on Wednesday. The Mahakaleshwar temple in Madhya Pradesh's Ujjain was beautifully decorated for the Diwali festivities. The Swaminarayan Akshardham temple is also set to be illuminated with 10,000 diyas in Gujarat's capital city Gandhinagar as part of Diwali celebrations on Thursday. And time now for a short break. Stay tuned for more.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, India reiterated its support for an early and peaceful resolution of the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy, highlighting India's stand at the UN Security Council open debate on the situation in the West Asia. Permanent representative of India to the United Nations, P. Harish, said that India is ready to do more for the Palestinian people, while stressing upon immediate release of all hostages from the captivity of Hamas.
The people of Palestine are in dire need of humanitarian assistance. We have been calling for safe, timely, and unimpeded humanitarian supply to the affected population. As we have repeatedly demonstrated in the past, India stands ready to do more for the Palestinian people. We are committed to carrying out human-centric projects for the people of Palestine in diverse sectors. Our thrust is on projects that have a tangible and lasting impact on the daily lives of the people. The terror attacks in Israel on 7th October were shocking, and they deserve our unequivocal condemnation. There can be no justification for terrorism and hostage-taking. India has a long-standing and uncompromising position against terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. At this juncture, I reiterate India's call for an immediate release of all hostages and a ceasefire.
And we have Jessica Taneja joining us for more on this. Well, Jessica, as the UN Security Council debated West Asia situation, could you get us the highlights?
You heard the permanent representative of India to the United Nations say categorically that while India would want to see a peaceful resolution to the current crisis in West Asia, it would also want aid to continue and for hostilities to end to the extent that there is a ceasefire and, of course, hostages are returned from the captivity of Hamas. And this has been a consistent position of India ever since the escalation took place in West Asia after Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. And consistent with that, there have been many United Nations General Assembly sessions where India has reiterated the stance that only dialogue and diplomacy will solve the crisis. No solutions are found in the battlefield that reverberates across both the crisis in Eurasia as well as West Asia. Now, if you read through the statement, the entire statement that the permanent representative of India to the United Nations gave, he also very categorically mentioned that India has been consistent in terms of providing aid to Gaza. And so far, more than $127 million have been given to relief agencies, out of which approximately $37 million was given to UNRWA, which is UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Work Agency. Now, that agency has currently been banned by the Israeli parliament in the last 2 days with two crucial bills that limit its operations. So now as the situation gets dire across West Asia, especially in the Gaza region, you saw the bombing of Beit Lahia on Tuesday that killed more than 90 people and included more than 25 children. There are essential medicines that are required, food supplies, water, sanitation facilities, and all of that right now is not being made available to the refugees who are currently housed in makeshift camps and tents and relief centers.
Right, Jessica, as you mentioned, agencies have reacted strongly to the Israeli move to ban the UN Palestinian Aid Agency. What could be the implications of the new Israeli laws banning UNRWA, as UN Security Council also warned against attempts to dismantle UNRWA?
The United Nations Relief and Work Agency, Lepakshi, had started back in 1948, where it had just about 750,000 refugees back then, when the situation had worsened. But currently, if you look at the situation on how it's operating, the United Nations Relief Work Agency has said that it is close to 2 million refugees now after the crisis has worsened in West Asia, and that it would require the consistency of supply that it was being allowed earlier. Now, with this ban and winter approaching, things could get really difficult at this point to aid and provide aid, especially to refugees who have been waiting for the longest time for some food supply or medicines, as the world across the globe is sending aid to Gaza through this agency. So the task becomes critical. On top of that, there are no strict restrictions at this moment on them for the next 3 months. But there is pressure from not just the West, but also countries like South Korea and Japan, who have come out and condemned this move by the Israeli parliament, allowing those two laws to limit the operations of an agency that has been operating for more than 4 decades, in the region.
All right. Thank you so much, Jessica, for all those details. And moving on, a Russian-guided bomb struck the 4th floor of a high-rise apartment building in Kharkiv. According to the Kharkiv governor, the strike had injured at least 29 people and triggered a fire and destroyed most of one entrance, making a huge hole in the building. Meanwhile, President Volodymyr Zelensky said the attack underscored the need for more military aid from Ukraine's Western allies. Well, the US and South Korean defense chiefs on Wednesday called for North Korea to withdraw its troops from Russia. Speaking at a press conference at the Pentagon with the South Korean defense minister, US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said that some 10,000 North Korean forces were already deployed to eastern Russia, wearing Russian uniforms and carrying Russian equipment. Russia and North Korea have deepened their political and military alliance as the Ukraine conflict has dragged on, but sending Pyongyang's troops into combat against Kyiv's forces would mark a significant escalation that has sparked widespread international concern.
Now, we're closely tracking the unprecedented level of direct military cooperation between Russia and the DPRK. In our meetings today, we shared our deep concerns about the deployment of DPRK troops to Russia. We also discussed how we're going to work together with our allies and partners to respond to this dangerous and destabilizing escalation. The evidence now suggests that North Korea has sent around 10,000 soldiers to train in eastern Russia. And some of these DPRK troops have already moved closer to Ukraine. And we're seeing them outfitted with Russian uniforms and provided with Russian equipment. And I am increasingly concerned that the Kremlin plans to use these North Korean soldiers to support Russia's combat operations in Russia's Kursk region near the border with Ukraine.
While U.S. presidential candidates are leaving no stone unturned to sway away the voters ahead of the November 5th polls, Vice President Kamala Harris rallied before thousands on Wednesday at Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as part of a final swing through the battleground states ahead of Election Day. Harris called his opponent Donald Trump unstable and said that Trump was out for unchecked power. Harris also rallied in Wisconsin and North Carolina, spending a final week of the campaign telling voters that she would respect those who disagree with her and portraying former President Trump as a threat to democracy.
This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power. And look, in less than 90 days, either he or I will be in the Oval Office.
Meanwhile, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump rallied in North Carolina. During the campaign, Trump lashed out at President Joe Biden on Wednesday over a comment that appeared to label Trump supporters as garbage.
Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. And they mean it, even though without question my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lying Kamala. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. You just And you can't be president if you hate the American people. And there's a lot of hatred there. Kamala Harris is not fit to be president of the United States.
Meanwhile, the White House on Wednesday clarified President Joe Biden's garbage comment and said that he was not referring to all of President Trump's supporters, but it was against the one who said Puerto Rico as floating garbage in Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden.
He was not calling Trump supporters garbage, which is why he put out, this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that clarified what he meant and what he was trying to say. So he was regarding to the comedian, and I quote, "I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at the rally don't reflect who we are as a nation."
Well, preparations are underway as U.S. presidential polls near. Officials in Pennsylvania on Wednesday were making final preparations ahead of what is expected to be a large voter turnout. Hundreds of voting machines were locked, wrapped in plastic, lined up, awaiting delivery to the local precincts. Well, as polls for many state assemblies are also going side by side with early polling for presidential candidates in the USA, DD India correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh talked to an Indian-American Narendra Reddy, who is fighting election for Georgia State Assembly as a Republican candidate.
We are in the key swing state of Georgia, here in Atlanta, outside of an early voting center. Last couple of days of early voting. Indian Americans comprise an important section of the population here. They're also important because there are many candidates from Indian American community who are contesting for various government positions. Besides the presidential elections that are taking place here, I have with me Mr. Narendra Reddy, who's contesting for a position in Georgia State Assembly. Mr. Reddy, if you could tell us about your roots and your new life in America.
Originally, I'm from Nalgonda, that is Telangana state. Also, I grew up in Hyderabad. Then I moved to America in 1982. So since then, I'm here. Particularly in Georgia, I've been here for 38 years. I'm running for the state assembly, which we never had a seat for Indian Americans, because if I win this seat, I will be the first one to win for Indian Americans in Georgia State Assembly. It is very important for all of us.
Right. In your campaigning, what has been your experience as an Indian American candidate? What are the issues that you're focusing on for the people?
Crime, safety, and education, particularly more scholarships for students in the colleges, and these are the things I am working. I'm looking at healthcare also. The costs are going up, and I'm trying to see how we can bring the healthcare bills, particularly the expenses, to lower them down.
Right. From the perspective of the presidential elections, for which the voting is also on, Georgia is seen as a key swing state. If you could help us understand the concept from the perspective of an Indian American.
Because Indian Americans are now a huge population in Georgia. They're significant. They're at least 1.5 to 2%. Indian Americans are a chunk of them, and they can make an influence, and they can make a difference in this election, which party can win the White House. Both Kamala Harris as well as Trump are cultivating and trying to make friendships with the Indian American community.
This was Mr. Narendra Reddy, Indian American candidate contesting for a position in Georgia State Assembly, talking about the political context and the life and opportunities for Indian Americans. With camera person Jaishankar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Atlanta.
Well, the U.S. presidential election is just days away now. The issue of illegal immigrants has taken center stage in the contest. Donald Trump has promised to crack down on illegal immigration and restrict legal immigration if elected as president. All along his campaign, he has been vilifying immigrants and has pledged to launch the largest deportation effort in U.S. history. To gauge what American voters think about the issue, DD India's Amritpal Singh has traveled to the U.S.-Mexico border, from where most of the illegal crossing over into the U.S. takes place. Take a listen.
I'm right now standing at the US-Mexico border. What you see behind me is that bridge which connects the United States of America with Mexico. Now, as the issue of immigration or illegal immigration has taken center stage in these elections, especially with Donald Trump raking it up, Kamala Harris is also treading soft on the issue, saying she realizes the immigration system is broken and it needs to be fixed, and she will bring a bill on it and sign it into a law if the Congress passes it. But is that really an issue which matters to the Americans? The Americans say migrants, illegal or legal, contribute much to their society.
They're not our problem. Like, in reality, they were from America.
It's just so dehumanizing. We're a nation of immigrants.
But there are others who have bought into Trump.
There's been occasions where you see illegals running up and down here with no clothes on, carrying bags. There's also been issues with illegals jumping in people's backyards, hiding in people's vehicles. And so you're asking if that's an issue. Yes, absolutely, it's an issue.
Then there are those who disagree with Trump's radical proposals but say the immigration system needs to be fixed.
I think immigration is good, not an open border with people rushing through.
So what you see behind me is the Rio Grande River, hardly a river, just a stream that divides Mexico and the United States of America. It is just knee-deep water that can be easily crossed over. That is why you see the kind of illegal immigration through the southern border of Mexico. But the U.S. also has a fence, but it has surveillance here. You can see security cameras. You can see the border patrol personnel. If the Department of Homeland Security's 20 2022 data is to be believed, there are 11 million illegal migrants in United States of America, and that is why Donald Trump realizes this issue can be raked up to get votes to come into his kitty. Statistics from the U.S. Homeland Security, however, indicate that there is no direct link between crime and immigrants, any more than it is for naturalized U.S. citizens. Whatever the reality, immigration has become a contentious issue in this election season. The question is, will it lead to significant political dividend for Donald Trump? With cameraman Sanjay Jaina, Amritpal Singh from the Mexico-US border in Texas.
Well, East European country Georgia's President Salom Zurabishvili refused a prosecutor's summons for questioning over her allegation of election fraud at this weekend's vote. The investigation was opened after Georgia's opposition denounced the parliamentary elections as illegitimate. The president's refusal to appear before prosecutors has intensified the political standoff in Georgia, where opposition parties are echoing her claims of widespread irregularities and demanding accountability.
I just want to say that my answer to the prosecutor requests that I present my proofs that sustained my declarations on the results of the elections is not relevant, because the prosecutor should be doing its own investigation. That's what the prosecutor office is there for. It's not up to the president to provide the proofs that exist in the society.
While U.S. President Joe Biden celebrated Halloween at the White House, President Biden, alongside First Lady Jill Biden, handed out candy to trick-or-treaters, celebrating the spooky festival. The Halloween celebration comes just 6 days before Americans go to the polls to elect a new president, with Republican Donald Trump deadlocked in the polls against Biden's Vice President, Democrat Kamala Harris. This will be Biden's last Halloween at the White House. While deadly floods in Spain left a trail of destruction as the country braces for a heavier human toll on Wednesday after the death of 95 people. The flash floods launched muddy waters through towns, tossed cars and wreaked transport havoc. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez declared the 3 days of mourning, which will start at midnight Thursday, as a sign of condolence to the families and people close to those who died and are still missing. Rescuers were expected to find more bodies in the European country's deadliest flood in more than 50 years. Heavy downpours and fierce winds have lashed Spain since the beginning of the week after a storm formed over the Mediterranean Sea, with up to a year's worth of rain falling in just hours in some areas. The body coordinating emergency services in the eastern Valencia region said that bodies were still being recovered and identified. Well, Nepal has earned 4.75 billion Nepalese rupee from carbon trading. The Alternative Energy Promotion Center, or AEPC, made income from 8 carbon trading projects since 2011. On the 28th anniversary of AEPC, an event was organized in Kathmandu, where Nepal's Minister for Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation, Deepak Khatka, said the government would provide possible support for promoting the renewable energy sector. On the occasion, individuals and organizations working for the development of renewable energy were honored. While you're watching DD India News Hour, time now for some sports news. England cricket captain Ben Stokes says a masked gang burgled his home when his wife and 2 children were there while he was in Pakistan for the recent Test series. The 33-year-old said his family did not come to any physical harm, but a number of sentimental items were taken. Stokes posted pictures of the missing items external, including the medal for the OBE, which he received in 2020. Stokes, who lives in Castle Eden in County Durham, said the incident occurred on the evening of 17th October. The following day, England were beaten by Pakistan in the second day test, with Stokes dismissed for 37. While South Africa quick Kagiso Rabada has dethroned Indian pace spearhead Jasprit Bumrah as the top bowler in the latest ICC Men's Test player rankings. Rabada has claimed the #1 spot on the back of strong form for the country during the ongoing World Test Championship, reaching his 300th Test wicket during the recent 7-wicket triumph over Bangladesh in Mirpur. In contrast, Bumrah failed to take a wicket in the second test against New Zealand in Pune, dropping 2 places to third, while Australian fast bowler Josh Hazlewood has moved up to second. And Jurgen Klopp has defended his decision to lead Red Bull's football operations, acknowledging backlash from fans of his former clubs in Germany who oppose Red Bull's influence in football. Klopp, starting his role in January after leaving Liverpool, stated that he did not want to step on anybody's toes, but felt this new role would still allow him to stay involved in the game without returning to coaching. He highlighted Red Bull's contribution to reviving East German football through RB Leipzig and expressed excitement about advising coaches within the organization. Well, UEFA will commit $1.08 billion of competition revenue and investment to develop women's soccer in Europe over the next 6 years. The commitment is a part of UEFA's new strategy to grow the women's game, with money going to the club, national teams, senior and youth competitions, with the goal to have 5,000 professional players and 6 professional leagues in Europe by 2030. UEFA President Alexander Kaferin said that the new 6-year strategy would lay the groundwork to unlock the full potential of women's soccer. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world in the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipak Shikurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India. And we wish viewers a very, very happy Diwali.